It's enough to get me to the boiling point.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So today is Tuesday. My goodness, it feels like night and day between yesterday's video and today. Yesterday, we had a beautiful, beautiful green market. Everything was flourishing. Everything was looking so healthy. And then, well, you see that guy right there in the bright red? Yeah. Well, they had to go and mess everything up, and it trickled down across the entire markets, and yeah. So if you're not up to date on what's going on, let me just catch you up to date. Essentially, this guy, Craig Wright, said he was Satoshi, but he's not, and he tried to sue the Space Cat, and then we all became Space Cats, and then this English dude got sued, and this Chinese guy delisted Craig's shitcoin. This is important. So basically, that's what's going on, man. I mean, I gotta be honest with you guys, like, when it comes to this fiasco, you know, first we had that craziness with the November sell-off, now this. I'm just getting tired of it. Like, can we just accept that Bitcoin is Bitcoin and move on, guys? Like, why are we still having this conversation? Now, let me give it a quick refresh live. Is there any life or vitality in these markets? Oh, we're still red, guys. Bitcoin dominance is up 0.1%, okay? So yeah, I mean, as far as everything went yesterday, I mean, we were positive, we were bullish, we were excited. This is definitely one of those, like, black swan type events where you really couldn't have predicted it, right? Something like this is sort of news-driven, based on fundamentals, delisting a coin. So this is what we get. A sea of red. I mean, literally everything is red. Even the coins that are up today. Maximine coin, you know how I feel about that. Crypto.com, Status, KuCoin, Theta, Nebulous, that's it. That's it. Everything else is red. So, sorry guys, I know, I wish I had better news to tell you today. So, having a look at the charts though, let's have a look and see what's going on anyway. Well, we obviously were doing quite well. We were being supported by the $5,100 line. We fell through. We also fell through our upwards trend that we were sort of forming. But, lo and behold, we got supported by the 5,000 again. And then this morning we tried to touch it and we bounced back. Again. So far, this $5,000 level has been holding very, very, very good support, whether it be for psychological reasons. I mean, now it may actually be technical that it's hit it so many times. But, you know, the other thing we need to point out too is this, sort of decreasing volume right here. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. We do notice that when Bitcoin volume tends to drop off, we get that massive volatility. So we could be looking for a big move in either direction. Now, currently, the Super Guppy has gone back into neutral. We were only green for just a very small period of time, and now we've gone back into neutral, so kind of just sitting on the sidelines waiting to see what happens over here. One positive thing is if we pull back and we look at the daily, we are above, the EMA ribbons, so that's pretty good. As you guys can see going back here, whenever we tend to be above it, we tend to be in some nice bullish territory, whereas when we fall below it, we tend to be in more of bear territory. So we could take that with a grain of salt, right? Short term, long term. But the thing is right here is this is that line that we're looking at right here, that $4,781 line, 4,800, depending on what chart you look at, right? So we've actually formed this channel and we've stayed between it ever since all the way, back here in late December, right? Obviously we touched it here. We couldn't break through. We had support here, fell below it just for literally a few days. And now we found it again as support. And once again, resistance. So what are we looking forward to? What is going to be happening short term? Well, short term, guys, I don't see us breaking out of this channel anytime soon, but I could see us bouncing around in it for now. And, I heard a lot of people upset about these price, everything that happened yesterday with this massive sell-off. But once again, guys, just to remind you, oh yeah, by the way, everybody basically sold their Bitcoin SV and went into Bitcoin Cash. So that's why it's, super bright green. But yeah, the thing is once again, are you in it for the long term or are you in it for the short term? Short term, yeah, I wasn't happy to see my portfolio get hit either, but at the same time, great opportunity to accumulate more. right? So you have to look at the bright side. Now, guys, I usually start off with a bunch of fundamentals and maybe like some opinions of, other traders in the space, but I wanted to bring up this situation because I'm not trying to cause any FUD. I'm actually bringing this up to ask you guys your opinion, but also just make you aware of the possibilities. So this actually came out March 7th from Vice. So this isn't a new article. And it said, Russia is building its own version of China's Great Firewall. Putin claims that such measures are necessary in the face of a new, more aggressive U.S. national cybersecurity strategy, right? But that's old news. Well, guess what happened? So I woke up this morning, and as you can see right here, this is from Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty. It says, Russian Duma approves sovereign internet bill. So what does this mean? Well, it says that the lower chamber of Russia's parliament has passed the controversial bill that critics say is part of efforts for Putin to expand government control over the internet. So the so-called sovereign internet bill would require providers to install equipment that could route Russian web traffic through points controlled by the state and for the creation of a domestic domain name system. Now, before you guys are asking, why am I even talking about this? I'm bringing this up because this feels very similar in a way, maybe not as aggressive, but kind of what happened with the China FUD, okay? Now, doesn't really affect us, right? But back when it had happened, the markets did not react in a very positive way, right? So moving on back to this, critics say that the bill will deal a more major blow to the internet freedom in Russia. The proposed move sparked protests of several thousands of people in Moscow last month. Last week, the chief of Russia media regulator said the bill would in fact target a popular messaging app as well. So Amnesty International said that blocking Telegram, used by senior government officials and Kremlin foes alike, would be the latest in a series of attacks on online freedom of expression in Russia. But the big question is right here, will it affect cryptocurrencies? Well, you could see that according to the Russian media house, RBC, telecom operators in Russia have already been conducting exercises to look for potential threats. As a result, the Russian telecom operators would be required to cut off Russian internet from the rest of the world and reroute all the traffic to servers based in Russia. So to create a sovereign internet, as you can see right here, the Kremlin would be allowed to monitor all the activities on the Russian internet, okay? So privacy is probably going to be gone, right? We could just say that. So what is their stance on cryptocurrencies? Well, Putin had said a few years back that there was no value to it, really. He didn't see the intrinsic value, but he didn't say he wasn't cool with it, right? He wasn't against it, right? Well, now they're saying that the rationale for the legislation is not clear, but experts have suggested that in the government's view, cryptocurrencies surpass the government's authority, opening new ways for criminals and money launderers. So the Russian Financial Ministry, in a statement, said last year they proposed a draft of laws for the use of cryptos, or surrogate for payments as they called it, and they said illegal. The ministry considers issuance of money as a criminal offense. Only the government is allowed to issue money, and the ruble is the only currency in Russia. The finance ministry issued a statement. This is necessary to protect the ruble as a single legal means of payment in Russia. There are a few steps before it gets signed into law. However, after the law is finalized, government is permitted to flip the switch whenever they want. So guys, I want you to just be aware of this, okay? Like, I'm not saying that this is necessarily going to happen, right? I'm not saying that if it does happen, it's going to be absolutely detrimental to crypto or to Bitcoin, but I just wanted to bring it up because we saw what happened with China and how bad the markets got affected when China put a ban, right? So we don't know 100%, and it hasn't been put into an actual law just yet, but I wanted to bring that up, okay? Now, moving on to why I still don't care what happens short term, even if we have another massive sell-off, is because you guys know how I feel about the purchasing power of the US dollar. I talked about this the other video. I'm not going to bring it up again. I've already got into this, right? You could see 1913, Federal Reserve is created, and now that dollar, as of 2013, would only have the purchasing power of about 5 cents of the power that you had back in 1913. And it's obviously a lot of years later, guys. So that chart's not even up to date. And it made me think about this this Reddit post, right? And this person says, why I'm investing in cryptocurrencies, not to get rich, not because I think the dollar will die, but because the dollar's purchasing power is volatilely decreasing at a dangerous rate. I just showed you the picture, right? And this isn't going back up. It's not like the Bitcoin chart where there's a potential chance for it to go back up. No, this is designed to go down, right? So they go on to say, my grandma used to buy burgers for 10 cents and 25 cents for a full meal. My dad bought them for 25 cents and $1 for a full meal. Me, one generation later, I was buying burgers for $1 as a kid and a full meal for $3. Now as an adult, I can't even find a meal for less than $10, and on average, I can't even get a decent sized burger for less than $5. Imagine what it'll cost in the next 30 years. $30 to $50 for a burger, $100 for a meal, you know? So the problem is as we're having this inflation, right here, the problem is that things are getting expensive, but the average household is not making more income, or at least we're not making it at a rate that is catching up with the cost of living. All right. And this is why I have put a lot of my faith in Bitcoin rather than the US dollar. And even though you could say, oh yeah, great store of value that Bitcoin is, I bought at 20K. But as the Winklevoss said yesterday, you need to look at the lower lows. Stop looking at the higher highs. Okay. Yeah. We had a high and now we haven't passed that high yet. Right? Yet. But look at the lows. We've been putting in lower lows. I mean, even if we just go back to the chart right here, I mean, look. Excuse me, higher lows, I'm sorry. Higher low, okay? And if we zoom out to the big picture of cryptocurrency, I love to do this. I mean, guys, we're like all of this, anyone that bought pretty much anywhere back in here, you're up, right? So I just wanted to point that out, guys. And the other thing too is if you're interested in actually looking at this, there was this really good article that came out and it was like the buying power of the US dollar. What could you buy for $1 in 1907? One pair of patent leather shoes, et cetera, et cetera. You could see 20 bottles of Coca-Cola in 1950. One Mr. Potato Head. And as you can see right here, what can you get now for $1? You can get one song on iTunes. Right? So that is basically the situation moving forward. Now, before we move on, I want to talk about something pretty cool. There's a mysterious message from space that has left a clue to $1 million Bitcoin bounty. And this is the tweet right here. I'll open it up so you guys can see. That came out. It says, received a new message over Blockstream satellite. It appears to be a treasure hunt for $1 million in Bitcoin, which included GPS coordinates for the first part of the hunt. Here's the message right here. So essentially, so it says that the treasure will belong to the most successful hunters and their clan is neither gold nor jewels nor pieces of worthless paper that pass for money in this sad age. Instead, it is Bitcoin, a digital treasure forged from the deep mathematical truths in an amount equal to 1 million. So you can check this out, but basically in order to find this, the treasure hunter is going to have to find 400 of these pieces to join them together. So it's using Shamir's secret sharing. Based on the wording of the message, it looks like the average person's not going to have a lot of luck. So here's the website, Satoshi's Treasure, right here. You can go and look at the clues. And then they got the rules of the game over here. So yeah, if you're interested in that, definitely check that out. Also, guys, hey, celebration time. Deposits and withdrawals are enabled for Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Doge on Cryptopia exchange. Yeah, so it says withdrawals will not be available outside of these times or on, and deposits. Somebody had deposits. I mean, come on, guys. At this point, it's really going to be hard to trust some of these exchanges moving forward. So, yeah. Anyway, I told you we'd get back to this American HODL tweet. So let's talk about what has happened in these past few days. Well, we know that Binance said that they are going to delist Bitcoin SV. We have Eric Voorhees coming out saying that we stand with Binance and CZ sentiment. We've decided to delist Bitcoin SV from Shapeshift as well within the next 48 hours. Kraken has a should we delist Bitcoin SV, and you can see there is 1 hour left. There have been 69,422 votes. I'm pretty sure we're going to get that 71% delist. It's toxic, so it looks like it's probably coming down over there. Tyler Winklevoss made a little joke about it. Gemini never listed BSV in the first place, just in, right? Gotta love the salute. And then, finally, we do have some people in the space, like OKX, they're taking a different approach. They say, considering that Bitcoin SV has been delisted from several exchanges recently, OKX has now conducted a rigorous review on BSV in terms of technology, development, liquidity, and compliance, and they decided that it does not meet their delisting criteria. However, some people are pointing out the fact that it says introducing Float SV, a Bitcoin SV exchange launching in partnership with OKX. So they are saying that this may have something to do with this Jack Lew kind of partner thing going on. So yeah, could be. I mean, might just be a strictly business-related decision, but that's basically what's going on. But guys, long story short, I mean, when you really look at Bitcoin SV compared to hash rate, network nodes, transactions, and block sizes, is anybody really paying attention anyway?
Craig Wright is a liar and a fraud, so sue me. Again.
We're all Craig, right?
Screw you, Roger.
Maybe I've been fooled.
But in all sincerity, I just wanted to bring this up as a question. Do you think that this puts the power, too much power, in the hands of the few? Does this go against the ethos of decentralization? Do you think that these exchanges being able to just delist these tokens, is a problem? Is it unethical, right? I mean, granted, they're centralized. We know this, right? But I was curious to start a conversation below and see what you guys thought about it. I mean, in this situation, it might be well-deserved. It might be justified. But do you guys think that ethically, or as far as the whole decentralized ethos, that this is something that is right or wrong? I don't know. Let me know in the discussion below. I'd be curious to hear what you guys have to say. So talking about some quick coin news, I know you guys want to get on out of here. So Crypto.com says, we are happy to share that Enjin has been added to the Crypto.com wallet card. Congratulations. That may actually have something to do with why Crypto.com is up today, because we know Enjin and their Samsung partnership, that was pretty incredible. We also have some news from Mainframe OS public release. They have some dApps you could see right here. You could check them out. They have CDP Pro, compounded payments, noted, Uniswap, and so you guys can definitely hop over and check that out. We also have online brokerage Monex Group, owner of the hacked Japanese crypto exchange CoinCheck, is considering adding crypto to its retail client offerings in a bid to become more competitive in the local brokerage markets. And some other pretty good news, we have Japanese e-commerce giant Rakuten, which has recently granted a license by Japanese Financial Service Authority, the FSA, to operate as a cryptocurrency exchange, has officially launched their account registration services for their new wallet. So the scale of their operations and their earnest efforts to onboard more users onto their crypto service could be a strong driver in adoption in a time when an increasing number of established entities are warming up to cryptocurrencies. Of course, it wouldn't be a day in crypto without a hack, guys. So 2 hackers are convicted for infecting over 400,000 computers with malware and stealing millions in cryptocurrency. Now, obviously, this was done through phishing links. In other words, you open an email, you click a link. Well, guys, if you've ever been involved in a phishing attack, I hope that you haven't. And to prevent you from getting involved in a phishing attack, just always check whatever it is that you're visiting. So, it could say Binance.com, but if you hover your mouse over it, sometimes it shows up in the bottom, or obviously if it shows up in the top, you've clearly gone to the site. So try not to click on it, but usually in the bottom, it'll show you the link that you're scrolling over and where it takes you to. And if it's not the site that you've intended to go to, don't click it, okay? So that's the quickest way to solve that. So we do have some good news from West Virginia. West Virginia made history last year as the first state to use mobile blockchain voting for a midterm election. So while the process seems to have gone smoothly, the state drew a lot of criticism for applying a new technology to something as sacred as the ballot. So what did they do? Well, guess what? They said, we don't care. And now West Virginia is planning on using a blockchain voting system again in the upcoming presidential election. They say, obviously, criticism is likely to rise again, especially after the Russia hacking scandal surrounding the last election. So even if the blockchain is supposed to add additional security, many voters may not see it that way. The biggest issue isn't necessarily security, but voter confidence. But still sounds like a good thing for West Virginia. So congratulations. And finally, to end out this video, guys, I wanted to talk about unstoppable domains. Now, this is not sponsored at all. This is totally free. I had a chance to sit down. I actually wanted to reach out and talk to the, one of the founders of this thing to see what it was all about. Because personally, guys, I think this is going to be massive. Blockchain domain names. I mean, all right, first of all, let's look at what traditional domains have done, okay? You can see right here, it says the domain, by the way, this is from Sira.ca, and it says the domain system plays a crucial role in how more than 3.2 billion users interact with the internet. In fact, and you can check, this is all statistics, this is all the data, I'll drop this below. It says that worth over $4 billion right now, the domain name industry continues to grow. In fact, here's just some statistics of some ridiculously high domains that have been sold. This is from GoDaddy.com. Look at this. Carinsurance.com sold for 49.7 million in 2010. Insurance.com sold for 35.6 in 2010. Let's look at a more recent one. Here's one in 2015. We.com sold for 8.5 million. Shoes.com sold for 9 million. Internet sold for 18 million. So do you remember back in the day when all these people were scavenging, trying to buy up all these domains because they knew that they could potentially, flip them in the future? Well, guys, I mean, I'm not talking about just flipping domains, but I'm telling you right now, we have blockchain domains. Now we have .eth, but this is going to be so much bigger, guys. We have .zil starting at just $10. These are they're not going to be able to be censored. Once they're yours, you're yours. You will own your own private keys, and you'll actually be able to link these to wallet addresses. So if somebody wanted to send you some crypto funds, they would say your name is, I don't know, John, right? You could just do john.zil. And that's it. And it didn't matter what coin I was sending you, what token I was sending you, it would figure out where to send it. Guys, it's really freaking crazy. So basically, without further ado, I want you guys to definitely watch this interview that I did with the co-founder, Brad, and let me know what you think about this. And by the way, if you are interested in this, guys, I'm just going to let you know, I do have a referral link below for this. I would, if you don't want to use it, you don't have to. I would appreciate it. It helps the channel out. But guys, either way, get yourself a blockchain domain name, man. I think these things are going to be massive, so check this out. What's going on, guys? I'm here with the co-founder of Unstoppable Domains, Brad Cam. How's it going?
Pretty great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for hopping on the channel for such short notice. So do you guys basically want to just explain what exactly Unstoppable Domains is?
Sure. Yeah, so Unstoppable Domains is building domains on blockchains. And the idea behind a blockchain domain instead of a regular domain is that it does two new things. The first is that it will replace your crypto addresses with human readable names. So what we want you to do is we want you to have something like cryptozombie.zil. You'll attach your Bitcoin address, your Ethereum address, your Litecoin address, all of your crypto addresses to one domain. And then when I want to pay you, I just type in cryptozombie.zil into a wallet. I select which crypto I want to pay you in. That's it. So you no longer even need to tell me what your crypto addresses are or which cryptocurrency you want to receive. I can just look it up.
That's awesome. So, now you've already seen .eth type of extensions as well. You guys have .zil. Why did you choose Zil to start with?
So the idea there is that we thought the biggest opportunity was to create our own new domain extension. .eth was great. It was the first kind of successful example of a blockchain domain system. But there were a lot of things missing. The biggest thing that was missing is the fact that you can only attach your Ethereum address to it. So we think that the most important thing and what the crypto community actually wants is it wants a solution to allow them to use any of their currencies, because I don't know that many people that only use one. So it just didn't seem like the fit, and most people use Bitcoin. So we wanted to make sure that our domains would work for any cryptocurrencies. So that was like the first big thing. There's also this other crazy thing about blockchain domains, which is that they can also work for you to build an uncensorable website. So the way it would work is you would put your content on like IPFS or some other decentralized storage network, and then you would have cryptozombie.zil. I would type that into a browser, and it would route me to your website content that can't be taken down because it's on decentralized storage, and your domain can't be taken away from you because it's in your wallet. And this is very different than the way that the current system works. In the current system, if GoDaddy or Google Domains gets a court order or otherwise doesn't like what you're doing with your domain, they just take it from you.
So this is full on decentralized. Once this domain is purchased, you have zero control over it.
Yeah, we cannot control it. We've sold it to you. It's a bearer asset. It's sitting inside of your wallet, just like a cryptocurrency.
Yeah, and that's a good thing because we've seen even with just free speech lately, that's been a huge topic of conversation on my channel. We've seen, it kind of really started with the whole Alex Jones sort of losing all of his channels, and then it kept snowballing into a lot of other figures as well. But there always is that other side of the coin when it comes to the whole free speech argument. What about, for example, you're saying it's not censorable, you can't take it down. Well, what about, things that are actually illegal or, universally accepted as offensive or wrong,
Yeah, we don't want people to be doing harmful things or illegal things with domains. So that's something that we're going to work hard to prevent. But I think the bigger picture here is that we don't believe that there's any one human or any one group of humans that should decide what the rest of us see. that there's no person or group that is talented enough or powerful enough or should be given that level of control over humanity. So instead, we're building tools that don't take an opinion. So the software does not take an opinion on what you're doing or why you're doing it. This is kind of one of the amazing things about blockchains in general. Like a blockchain doesn't care about why you transact. It just does it. And as a result, we've created an entirely new paradigm for ourselves where anything is possible. And then we can go back on the second layer and we can say, like, for example, we will support things like lists of bad addresses, essentially. So we can serve that up to browsers and say, like, here are warning addresses, or here are, what we think are potential squatters or spammers or all these other sorts of things. And we can throw that up as warnings to the users. But we're not saying to users, you can't do something. We're saying to users, here's how we can protect you, and here are the tools that will help you. So your browser will help choose what content you see, and you choose your browser. So you always have freedom.
Right. And I mean, that is like the beauty of it, right? Is that censorship resistance aspect to it. And also the other thing about blockchains is it is on a blockchain. It's publicly visible. It's on a ledger. Everyone can see it, right? That's the cool thing about it. But at the same time, I wanted to ask you, what if, like, for example, if I have a .zil address and I have all the, cause I'm Crypto Zombie, right? I have a YouTube channel. So say I tell, oh, you want to donate, send it to here. But what if like certain people don't want to show you where their money's being sent or something like that? Do you guys have any kind of privacy features you're looking to roll in, just in case I don't want everyone knowing, what's in the bank account, so to speak?
Totally. So we've got something that will be coming out in the next few months, and essentially the way it's going to work is it's going to be like a key rotation mechanism. So somebody won't see your crypto addresses on the blockchain. Instead, they'll just see like an API endpoint. And so there'll be a new address every time. So whoever paid you, if somebody pays you 1 ETH, they'll know that they paid you, and they'll see one of your addresses, but they'll only see that one address. They won't know who else paid you. So that's what we think a lot of businesses and things like that are going to use. And so it's a way to essentially get paid in Bitcoin and get paid in Ethereum, still have this public identifiable name, and not have to compromise your security by broadcasting. Here's how much I made today.
Yeah, that's like what Ledger does. It refreshes every time you send it to it. It's pretty cool. So that's a great concept, great idea. And I was curious to ask you guys, I mean, how did you guys start this? Like, how did you sort of, without going into like crazy detail, but I mean, because you guys, for example, with the whole wallet service, this, from what I'm aware of, doesn't exist. So you're going to have to sort of build this out. I mean, what experience do you guys have that makes you confident that you can achieve what you're trying to achieve,
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I think the original inspiration was .eth. .eth launched in 2017, and they demonstrated that all of this was possible. But the thing that we saw that was so we have a GoDaddy style app for users, unstoppabledomains.com, where you can buy domains very simply. You can check out, you can add your cryptocurrency addresses. It's also where you're going to be able to set up your website, your censorship resistant websites, and all that stuff. So we're trying to just make it really, really easy. And we think that's actually the biggest problem. In terms of the wallet stuff, it's pretty cool because wallets are excited about this. Human readable names are a better experience for their users. If you were to go and ask a wallet, what's the number one support question they get? It's going to be something about sending addresses. Did I send them to the wrong address? What happens? All of those types of things, huge problems for wallets. So far they've been pretty excited. And the way that we're tackling this is we're offering an open source library. So any wallet can use it. You're interacting directly with the blockchain. There's no kind of liability or worry about us as some sort of a middleman. And we're also supporting all blockchain domain systems that we think are good and legitimate. So we also support ENS.eth inside of our library. So for you as a wallet, why not use our library? We've already got you covered on all the blockchain naming services.
Yeah, I mean,
including our own.
Yeah, and .eth is already massive on its own. That accounts for a very, very large amount, and as these continue to roll out as well. So that is kind of the question also sort of leading into, I mean, I feel like there's more to this. I feel like you guys have more up your sleeve. I mean, what can we kind of expect sort of short term and long term from you guys?
Yeah, I think that the big things to call out right now are that we are in what we're calling a pre-order phase for .zil domains. So you're able to buy any domains now for $10. There's also some premium domains that would otherwise go to auction that are available now for a bit more. And then there's going to be a public eBay style auction in June. So it's going to be an on-chain auction. Everyone's going to be able to see all the bids, and you'll be able to bid on the top, say, 5 to 10,000 domain names. Think about like, exchange.zil or payments.zil, all of these other types of things that are typically really valuable. Those are the types of things that we're expecting people are going to get really excited about and focused on in June. So right now it's pre-orders, adding features to the names, and then we'll be live in June, and we'll have the auction in June as well. We'll be live in a few wallets. So that's short term with .zil. Medium term and longer term, there's going to be at least one more domain extension that we'll be launching this year, and we'll be launching it on Ethereum.
Awesome. I actually have one more question about the pricing. So I know, because I have had website hosting myself, and you do pay reoccurring for things like GoDaddy. Is yours a reoccurring payment, or is it like a one-time thing with you guys? Since you said that you don't own the private keys, so.
There is a $5 annual renewal in the contract, and so it's basically it's built into the .zil contract. So that's one way to do it. The idea there is to essentially be able to fund continuing development. But we do think that future domain extensions will be forever domains.
Okay.
Meaning you buy once and that'll be it. And that's one thing that's kind of cool about blockchain domains, is that that's possible. It's not really possible in the old system because there's actual humans that need to manage it.
Yeah, exactly. That is the awesomeness. Don't trust, verify, right? Just let the blockchain do its thing, man. So yeah, thank you so much, Brad. I really appreciate you hopping on super quick to just share what's going on with everybody. And I'm definitely going to try it out. I'm going to get some domains, and hopefully, it always makes me think about that kind of like internet gold rush back in the day when everybody was buying up all the domains because they knew that, or that they thought that one day they'd be very valuable. I mean, you said there was one that sold for $1 billion. It was, or something like that?
Cars.com is valued at almost $1 billion in an S1 filing.
Cars.
And then the entire asset class is valued at as much as $80 billion. And it's a digital asset class already. It's been around for 25 years, and it's centralized. So enter blockchain. Can you imagine a better situation for a blockchain to replace a current industry? You already have a digital asset, and it's just sitting on some centralized database that's controlled by a bunch of government people.
Mm-hmm. And also, think about how easy it is to transfer the rights to somebody. Here's the private keys. Right? Yeah. There you go. You don't have to go. I mean, think about now. I got to go. I mean, I remember one time I had to give the rights over to somebody for it was one of the websites we were building back in the day. And it was like the most strenuous process. It was so confusing. I didn't even know what I was doing. You know what I mean? And I just really love the simplicity and the beauty of it. Like you said, man, there's some things blockchains are just generally good for. So
you can sell your entire website in 15 seconds. Like, it wouldn't just be the domain. You could just sell the entire thing and be like, here, it's yours now. 15 seconds and it's done.
Yeah, definitely living in this time and age too. Everything is instant. It's like that Dane Cook joke. It's like, what, 5 seconds? But I need to be to work in 3 seconds or whatever it was. So, and it's true. I mean, time is just becoming the biggest commodity of all, right? I mean, that's really what it is. So anything that makes it easier, yeah, dude. And I agree. Definitely taking back that power and the centralization is just crazy, man. So I really appreciate you stopping by, and thank you for sharing with everyone. Definitely. So if you guys haven't checked out Unstoppable Domains, definitely check it out. We do have a referral link below if you'd like to use it. But yeah, definitely check it out. So thank you so much, Brad.
Thanks so much for having me.
Awesome. So that about does it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. I really appreciate it. Everyone that's been liking, subscribing, commenting. Obviously, if you guys are, using the referral links, definitely I appreciate it. Buying Ledger Nano S's to keep your crypto safe, downloading the Brave browser. I know these ads can get quite annoying. And guys, let me tell you something about Unstoppable Domains. I think this is going to be massive. I'm going to purchase domains. I am, personally. I am, because I see the value in this, and I think that this is actually one of those products that is going to be legit and is going to be around for quite some time. So yeah, definitely check it out, guys. Thank you so much if you stuck around this far in the video. You're certainly a trooper. I do this every single day, so if you haven't gotten subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? That being said, my name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto and peace out.